welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can tell by the title of today's video, I'm going to be going over with y'all some tips before I leave tomorrow on my trip to Greece, because my birthday is on Friday. So anyways, so if you guys are not tracking, my birthday is on Friday. I'm going to Greece. This may be my final trip in Europe while I'm stationed over here, so it's a little bittersweet, but I am actually taking leave for this trip. So if you guys don't know what passes are, I'm going to talk about that a little bit, because a lot of people have been asking, how do I get all this time off to travel? So if you're in the military, you already know what this is. But if you're not in the military, we get these things called passes, and we put in a request. Once it gets approved, we have that time off. Now, I can't speak for everybody else's unit, but my unit here, we get passes like every month. We get passes every month, sometimes twice a month, depending on holidays. So I take advantage of it, and I encourage everybody else to as well, because it is so much to see over here in Europe. Everybody should travel. That's just my opinion. So anyways, we get 4-day passes. So once my pass gets approved, I go and I plan my trip and I go. I don't wait on anybody, I just go. So last year, I got here right after New Year's of 2018. So I got to Belgium, and you know, they hand me all the paperwork and stuff. So I looked at all the 4 days that we were gonna have for the entire year, and I just started planning. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go here this day, I'm gonna go here this day, this 4 day and all that. And that's pretty much how I did it. Now, if you follow me on social media, then you'll see that I've traveled everywhere. So follow my social media and keep up with me, and you'll get to see everything. So now, no, it is not leave that I'm taking. So leave is actually what I'm actually about to take now for the Greece trip. I've accumulated so much leave that I have use or lose days. So I basically have to take leave and use those extra days before the 30th of September, or I'm going to lose those days. So I am actually going to be taking a longer trip in Greece, and I'm happy. It's a solo trip, so I'm actually very, very excited. So that explains that. So the next thing I want to go into, of course, is I want to talk about flights, and I want to talk about hotels really, really quick. So I'm just going to give you guys a couple of websites, and they'll be down below in the description bar, and you guys can check out those, and you can kind of see like, okay, this is what I use. Now, first of all, I do want to say traveling in Europe is cheap. I repeat, traveling in Europe is cheap. So, you know, in Georgia, you probably got to drive 3-4 hours and get to Alabama. Well, I'm in Brussels, and I can drive 3 or 4 hours and I can be in Paris, or I can be in London or Germany. It just, wherever. So traveling over here is cheap, and it's not all that bad. Now, flights. If you've been stationed in Europe before, I'm pretty sure you have heard of RYANAIR. Everybody knows what RYANAIR is. We've all used it before. It ain't the best, it ain't perfect, but I will say that I use it as well. The thing that RYANAIR does not tell you guys is that it's a lot of hidden fees. So I made the mistake one time where I didn't check in online 24 hours prior to my flight. So when I got to the airport, they charged me 50 euro. I will never make that mistake again. So definitely read everything that you're going through step by step when you're in the process of purchasing a ticket. So also in that process, RYANAIR will give you the option to select your seat, or randomly or do a random pick. So if you select random pick for free, RYANAIR will pick your seats randomly, and a lot of times they'll give you the seats that most of the time nobody ever selects. So a lot of times you're going to want to pick your seat. Now, the only issue to that is if you choose to pick your seat, you're going to be paying between 3 or 4 all the way up to 20 euro, depending on where on the plane you want to sit. They don't tell you that. So please pay attention when it comes to that. Everything is on the website. Another thing, along with the seats, the luggage. So a lot of times the cheap flights, there could be flights on there for like 20 euro round trip. But those flights may only allow you to have a small carry-on bag. Now, if you're like me and need an entire suitcase, then you're going to be paying extra. You're going to be paying between 25 to 50 euro depending on the size of your suitcase and how heavy it is. So make sure you pay attention to that as well. So it's just a lot of things with RYANAIR that a lot of people do not tell you, or you don't know, and by the time you get to the airport, you done spend all this money and you probably could have found a cheaper flight that costs way less, that has all of that included. Another thing that RYANAIR does not tell you is that they do not feed you free food on the plane. And that's one thing that I hate about RYANAIR. RYANAIR, you get no free food. Okay. So RYANAIR does not feed you on the flights. So what I do is I have to buy my own food in the airport, which that's still expensive, but I buy my own food and I bring it onto the plane because they let you bring it onto the plane. Like, you don't get no free pretzels, you don't get no free peanuts, no candy, no ginger ale for your tummy. Like, you don't get nothing. So that's another thing that they don't tell you. So I'm telling you this so that you know. So other airlines, like each city, it seems like, from my experience, each city like has their own airline. Like Brussels has their own airline. Also, you can take the train. Like when I travel to London, I just take the train because the train is like only an hour and it's less than 100 euros like round trip. London's really not that far. You can also drive. It's like 4.5, 5 hours away from here. So again, traveling is cheap. Now, hotel. To me, your hotel, that's where your money comes in. Because if you're bougie like me, then you want to stay in a fancy hotel. You want to make sure there's a pool, a hot tub. You want to have a balcony view. You want to have, you know, a ocean view. Like, you want all the details. You want a flat screen, a couch, a sofa bed, everything. So I feel like I'm at the age now. I'm not gonna tell y'all my age, but if you know me, you know. But I just feel like I'm at the age now where that stuff does not matter to me anymore. It doesn't. Like, and you'll see why when I go to Greece, because this Greece trip is completely different from all my other trips. Flights, the place I'm staying in, like I'm not even staying in a hotel. And I'll get to that in a second. So it's just a lot of things that's changed now, because if you start looking back, things are pricey, and if you do research, then you actually can get good deals. Because, like, for instance, a lot of people say that Greece is really expensive. I don't think Greece is expensive. I haven't even been to Greece yet, and I'm saying that, but I'm saying as far as like flights and place to stay. So another tip too, look at the airports. For example, when planning my Greece trip, it costs about 200 euros extra to fly into Santorini than it does to fly into Athens. Reason why is because Athens is an international airport. Santorini, it's got a little tiny airport because Santorini is not a big island, so it's got a little airport, and y'all know them little bitty airports cost 10 times more expensive to fly into than flying into an international airport. So that's why I'm flying into Athens. So that's another thing that you guys can look out for, because some cities have more than one airport. So look at the airports. That's another thing that people do not tell you. So places to stay. Again, that's where your money comes in. So either be bougie and pay a lot of money, or be bougie and smart and not pay a lot of money. Then you'll be good forever. So how do I find my places to stay? So again, I use TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor pretty much tells you everything. I also use Airbnb.com now. Now Airbnb.com I never utilized, but I use it now. And I will forever use it now when traveling over here. It's 10 times cheaper. The places are not always the 5-star hotel type, but again, I already went over that. So it just really depends. Do your research, compare prices. Another website that I use also is booking.com. I love that website just because I like the whole fact that, like, if you find a place that you want to stay, like say 6 months in advance, you can book it without having to do a prepayment, and it'll have like a free cancellation fee. But you gotta look, because certain hotels don't do that, but a lot of them will tell you on there, it'll be like in bright green, say, oh, no prepayment needed, and free cancellation all the way up until maybe like the day before you get there. So that's always a good thing, in case something happens and you have to cancel your trip. So that's why I like booking.com. Not saying that there's not other websites out there that do that, but that's just what I use because that's what I know. So that's about it. Now, the people who you bring with you, that can either make your trip or it can break you. To me, that's very important, because I have a friend and she met up with one of her friends on a trip, and when she got back, she didn't have as much as a good time on the trip as I wanted her to have, or that she wanted to have, because of the person that she went with. So if you bring somebody with you and that person doesn't want to do the same things you want to do, don't want to eat the same food that you want to eat, don't want to do this and that, want to sit around the hotel all day, want to get attitudes, then it's just like, then you end up wishing that you would have came by yourself. So be mindful of who you bring with you. You want to make sure that you guys always agree on everything. You guys want to stay together, especially for us, because, like, you know, we're American, we're from the US, we're in a foreign country. We don't know the people over here. Anything can happen anywhere. Not saying stuff don't happen in the States, because it do, but I'm saying over here, you know, we're taught that we got to stay together, we got to take care of each other. So just be mindful. And if you know, like, you're not really all that close with a person and you know that they're completely different from you, don't bring them on no trip with you, because y'all are never going to agree on anything. And one person gonna go this way and one person gonna go that way, and that's a no-go. So that's another tip for you guys. Packing. I'm looking at my suitcase. So packing. Another tool that I like to use also is YouTube. I think I talked about that a little bit, but YouTube, and if I probably didn't, but YouTube is always great because everybody puts everything on YouTube. Anything in the world you want to know, even outside of traveling, it's on YouTube. So anytime I go to a place or I get ready to go to a new country or something, I always go on YouTube and I look at videos, I look at vlogs, and I see like what people are doing, how much they're paying, where they're staying, and you know, they're telling you everything. But in reference to packing, they make videos about packing. They'll make a packing list before the trip, and then when they come back, they'll make videos and tell you, oh, if you're gonna go here, make sure you bring these type of shoes. If you're gonna go there, make sure you bring sunscreen. I made the mistake when I went to Malta because I forgot to pack sunscreen. I knew I was gonna be in water and swimming around and stuff, and I forgot. So I went into a local shop, and a bottle that was like this big costed like 20 euro. I was like, are you serious? Like, but I bought it because I didn't want to come back. I mean, y'all know the story. So anyways, packing. So I'm not gonna tell you guys what to pack, but again, in reference to the airport, be mindful of what you pack. And if you're doing your research and you see that there's certain things that you need to have when you go to a certain place, make sure you pack that as well, because if you try to wait and buy it when you get there, you're probably gonna pay 2 or 3 times as much as if you could have just brought it from home. So that's pretty much all I'm gonna say on packing. As far as that, that's pretty much all I have. Like I said, everything comes back to research. Research, research, research. Because if you research, the more you do, the better off that you'll be on your trip. You'll be prepared. You'll have a better time on your trip because you was prepared. You don't have to be looking for anything extra. You won't be getting there and be completely clueless. Especially like me going on this trip to Greece, and I'm going by myself. I don't want to be completely clueless, you know what I mean? So do your research, that way when you get there, you know where you're going. Like, oh, okay, I'm going here, I'm going to do this, I already know. So do that, be prepared. That's always a good thing. So I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm so excited. I probably already said that, but anyways, I'm leaving tomorrow, and so I will be vlogging the entire trip. I come back on the 20th. Today is the 10th, so I'll be back on the 20th, and that weekend the vlog will probably be uploaded that weekend. Depends on how tired I am. I'm gonna try to get it uploaded. So I'm gonna vlog the entire trip, and I'll let you guys know how Greece is when I come back. So if you guys have any questions or comments, concerns, anything, just drop it down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them, and I'll reply really fast. So that's about it. If you guys haven't already subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, and make sure that you guys give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you guys hit that notification bell, so that way you guys will be notified when all my videos are uploaded, especially the next one, because you guys are going to want to see this Greece vlog. So make sure that you have that notification bell on. All right, y'all, bye.